Archduke Alejandro held Chloe in a tight, earnest embrace. When they pulled apart, he looked at her with steady determination and asked softly, "Will you be with me?" Chloe's chest tightened. She wanted to be with him, but the reality of their positions was cruelly clear. If she accepted, she would be branded the second wife, and any children they had would be treated as illegitimate for life. Could she bring that fate upon innocent children? Sensing her hesitation, Alejandro relaxed and took her hand. "You don't need to answer now. I'll wait as long as you want. For now, just stay by my side. Don't run from me." He asked only that she come closer, reminding her that he had waited many years to meet her. His words and the warmth of his hold flushed her face. Chloe panicked and pulled her hand away. "Archduke, please let go. What if someone sees us?" she whispered tensely. Alejandro only chuckled, confident. "If you're dressed well, people will assume we're lovers." Chloe shook her head, worried about the nearby knights. He tried to reassure her. "Trust me. You don't have to worry about anything but me." He smiled, ignoring the guards leaned toward her. His lips nearly touched hers. She flinched and shoved him away. Exasperated, Chloe muttered to herself that she'd prefer a kiss. This closeness felt too forward. Alejandro teased her, promising not to whisper in her ear again if she disliked it. Chloe's face burned. He persisted with a playful, probing question that left her frozen and inwardly confused. Was she the only one feeling this way? Despite her turmoil, a part of Chloe admitted to herself that she had never felt so seen and cherished. Abruptly, his expression softened. "I forgot to thank you," he said. "Regardless of your answer, I'm happy to love someone like this. Every heartbeat reminds me I'm alive. I thought I couldn't love again. Now my life has truly begun. Chloe, thank you for appearing in my life." He added that there was no rush. She could speak slowly, and he would wait however long it took. He reached for her and hugged her affectionately. Chloe, still flustered, experienced that hug as a protective shield, the first comforting embrace she had felt since her reincarnation, and wondered if she could truly stay by his side and trust his sincerity. Far from that intimate scene, trouble was gathering. Gilbert rode in a fury, convinced Marquise Burnett had overreached. No amount of soldiers could match Duncan Graham, he thought, and if Burnett's actions amounted to treason, he expected a brutal punishment. Worried for his family. "I can always bear another child, but if I die, it'll be the end of the Logan family." He kicked his horse to flee. Suddenly, a club struck him, throwing him from his horse. He was quickly surrounded by a group of shadowy, angry men. One accused him harshly of selling a pitiable princess into slavery, blaming Gilbert for the death of his son, a former servant, and for his mother's downfall into slavery. The mob called for Gilbert's immediate death, shouting for him to be killed and burned in the royal palace. Another voice begged for restraint. Killing Gilbert would bring the kingdom's forces down on them and leave everyone worse off. "If he dies, the entire kingdom will fall into chaos," this man warned, and the attackers paused, weighing vengeance against survival. Gilbert writhed in pain and fear, thinking desperately that he could not die a meaningless death like that. The scene closed on Gilbert trembling, beaten, terrified, and facing the real prospect of a brutal fate. While elsewhere, Chloe wrestled with a choice between safety, social consequence, and the first sincere love she had known since her rebirth. Alexandro calmly put on his coat when Chloe hurried over. "Lord Graham, Chief Cupa Hit asked me to tell you he's waiting at the banquet hall." "Please don't keep him waiting," she said nervously. Alexandro smirked. "Do you want me to go quickly?" Chloe hesitated. She still thought about his earlier confession, so sincere that she wasn't sure how to respond. "But I can't marry Trigger in this state," she reminded herself. He called her name, startling her back to the moment. "Of course, we're already late." Before she could finish, he interrupted softly. "Then you'll have to eat dinner alone." Confused, she tried to dismiss him, but he stopped her by holding her hand. Chloe froze. "Archduke, this is the first time you've held my hand first," she said quietly. He raised her hand and kissed it, leaving her flushed. "My lord, please hurry." She stammered, but he only touched her cheek gently. "I don't want to leave you." Flustered, Chloe thought of her unfinished business with Trigger. She needed to end things properly, yet Alexandro's presence unsettled her. He leaned closer, asking if she would come to him later. Chloe was overwhelmed. This man seemed so different from the disciplined figure she once knew. He only chuckled and kissed her forehead before leaving. As he walked away, Chloe's thoughts spun. Why does every word of his affect me this way? Maybe it's because I've been alone too long. Even if it's impossible between us, just being confessed to by someone like him feels like enough. Meanwhile, in the banquet hall, Duke Anturno voiced unease about the Empire's governance. Though the continent had been unified for over half a year, he felt the frontier regions were neglected. Evan cautioned patience, but Alexandro challenged Anturno directly, questioning his silence until now. The Archduke made it clear he had no interest in the throne, warning the Duke not to rely on him. Later that night, Chloe, still unable to tell Trigger the truth, sighed in frustration. Suddenly, Alexandro embraced her from behind. Startled, she turned to see his bright, sincere smile. "What were you doing?" he asked. "I wrote some letters and tidied the room," she replied. He frowned slightly, feeling it unfair that she had busied herself instead of thinking of him. Chloe yawned, asking if she could sleep. He agreed, then unexpectedly said, "All right, let's go to sleep." She froze at his words, completely taken aback. Chloe hesitated, prompting Alexandro to ask, what's wrong?" "That's what I should be asking," she thought, uncertain. "I'll sleep in the dorm as usual," she said. "Isn't it uncomfortable to sleep with others?" he asked. "Not at all. Everyone's been so kind," she replied with a smile, trying to reassure him. Alexandro frowned. "I'll go check myself." She tensed. "Don't. That will only make them uncomfortable. Please, just come early tomorrow instead." He studied her closely. "Do you really not know why I'm acting like this?" he asked, taking her hand. "No matter how slow you are, there's no way you don't understand. You're an adult, Chloe." Flustered, she opened her mouth to protest, but he continued softly. "Don't worry. I won't force you. But I don't want my woman to spend the night uncomfortably with strangers. How could I sleep peacefully then?" Her breath caught. "Your woman?" "Yes," he answered firmly. "I haven't even given him my reply yet. Since when did it become this far?" she thought nervously. "Archduke, you said you'd wait for my answer," she reminded him. "I did. I won't approach you against your will," he said calmly. "But still, you called me your woman." "Then let's say I'm your man instead," he teased, moving closer. "That's not the point," she whispered, but he only smiled. "Either way is fine with me. So sleep in my bed tonight. I'll take the sofa." She stiffened. "What do you mean? Why would you sleep there? Why are you always like this? Do you just want to keep your distance and watch?" His tone carried quiet amusement. Chloe bit her lip, unsure how to answer. He went on, "You know I can give you anything you want. Take advantage of that." Guilt pricked her. How can I accept this without giving him an answer? "I'll sleep on the sofa instead," she said, moving away. But Alexandro stopped her, lifting her easily and setting her on the bed. "How could I let my woman take the sofa? Do you not think about my feelings at all?" he said, his voice soft but firm. Chloe flinched. "I feel uncomfortable." "I'll wash up. You should sleep," he said, stepping back. His last words lingered heavily in her heart. "Don't turn me into a terrible man. Please." Left on the wide bed, Chloe lay stiffly, staring at the ceiling. "I should have just said I'd stay in the dorm. This bed is comfortable, but my heart won't let me rest." Soon, she heard his voice again, low and amused. "My woman." Chloe froze, clutching the blanket, pretending to sleep. Alexandro returned from his bath, approached quietly and adjusted her blanket. "Cute. Sorry for being mischievous." "Good night," he whispered, kissing her cheek gently before retreating to the sofa. She held her breath until he settled down. "How can I sleep like this? My heart's pounding so loud it might wake him." On the sofa, Alexandro lay awake, smiling as he thought of her. "After the ceremony, we'll hold a big wedding at the South Estate. Even if Father opposes us, I'll handle it. As long as Chloe trusts me and stays by my side, I'll make her happy." The next morning, Chloe sat up with a yawn. The bed had been comfortable, but she hadn't slept well. My heart wouldn't calm down. Though I guess I can restrain myself when I have to. She rubbed her eyes as the first light of dawn filled the room. But then a small stone landed on her shoe. Startled, she looked up and froze. "You?" she whispered, stunned. Chloe spotted Peter and hurried toward him, surprised to see him there. "How did you come here?" she asked. Peter looked startled but quickly composed himself. "Thank you. Thanks to you, Mom and I are safe. Chloe's heart softened. What? Instead of me, you should thank Grandma. Was I was only worried about her being left alone, but it's a relief they're both safe, she thought. Peter nodded earnestly. We're living in the village now, thanks to Archduke Graham. He handed her a small parcel. Please take this. Mom said I had to give it to you no matter what. To me? Chloe asked, hesitating as she accepted it. Peter gave a quick nod, then suddenly turned and bolted. I've delivered it, he shouted, sprinting away before she could stop him. Wait, Peter? Chloe called after him, but he was already gone. She unwrapped the parcel and read the letter inside. My name is Julia McCowell. I know Alexandro's mother well, and Alexandro knows the truth. Thank you, young lady. Without you, I would have been another burden to him. It's a relief he grew into a reliable man. As expected, Duncan's victim. Chloe frowned. Victim? What does that mean? The letter went on. He only thinks about power and family. He abandoned a newborn baby because she was a girl and couldn't continue the family line. Be careful not to get involved with that family. Duncan won't leave you alone. Never trust him. Chloe stared at the words, her chest tightening. I avoided this for so long, but I knew I would have to face it. His blood and power. Because of that, people forgive him for anything. That's something I'll never have, she thought before burning the letter. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace, Duncan sat with his secretary. Where are the knights? He asked. They are currently at Duke Anthenor's estate, the secretary replied carefully. Duncan narrowed his eyes. Why are they in the McCowell estate? There was a sudden change in the Archduke's schedule. They stayed for a week and leave today. Duncan exhaled sharply. There aren't any traces of the McCowell family there, are there? None at all, Your Highness. Duncan's face hardened. Alexandro must not know the truth. If he finds out what I did, he'll never forgive me. I only wanted to give him a perfect world. After a pause, he added, A letter from Alexandro will be coming. Deliver it to me immediately. Back at the McCowell estate, Alexandro was training intensely in the forest. Chloe, trying to distract herself, found her gaze drifting toward him. Relax. It's just a body I see every day. Yet her eyes lingered on him, the sunlight glistening on his skin. Noticing her stare, Alexandro spoke casually. It must be hot, your towel. She jumped, quickly handing it to him. Here. Thanks, he said, wiping his face. Chloe flushed and looked away. Shall we go now? Are you tired? He asked gently. No, not really, she said, though her voice was tense. He gestured toward a shady spot. Then let's sit there. They sat together, but Chloe's unease grew. I should have said I was tired. Suddenly, Alexandro took her hand, making her flinch. Archduke? She began, but he cut her off. Stop calling me Archduke. Call me by my name. Chloe blinked. That's a bit. His expression softened. Is there a reason you can't, or you don't want to? Her heart pounded. Oh no, his face. Too dangerous. It's not that I dislike it, she admitted quietly, but... Then why not? Is there any reason? He asked. Flustered, she shook her head. I just can't. I'll use my wish for something else. Alexandro's gaze dimmed. Sorry for forcing my feelings on you. I know I shouldn't, but I can't help it. Chloe panicked. No, that's not it. I was just afraid of making mistakes, she explained quickly. He released her hand. But I don't think I'm someone who deserves to be loved by anyone. Chloe's eyes widened. What? Why would you say that? He lowered his gaze. Even the woman I love refuses to call me by my name. It's only my name, nothing else. It's not that. It's just, if someone else hears it, she murmured nervously, then let them hear, I won't hide it from anyone, he said firmly. Her chest tightened. If people knew, rumors would spread. A slave and the Archduke. If his father found out, she shivered at the thought. Alexandro spoke quietly. I read my mother's journal, the one you got me. Chloe's fingers twitched, waiting for what he would say next. My mother wanted to name me Alan, he revealed, his voice carrying an odd mix of acceptance and relief. Chloe studied him. The last time he'd mentioned his mother, there had been bitterness in his tone. Now, after reading the journal and learning the truth, his attitude had changed. It reminded her of Grandma Julia's letter that had corrected many misunderstandings. Do you think that name suits me? He asked, looking down. As Graham's successor, it's unexpected, but... Yes, it suits you, Chloe answered calmly. Alexandra looked relieved and hugged her, then gently asked, Can you call me Alan? She blushed and tried the name softly. Alan. He smiled. They began walking back to camp hand in hand. When will the ceremony end? Chloe asked. It should take about 6 months. The ceremony's been infamous for never finishing properly. That's why it's notorious, she agreed. He added more soberly that now the continents were unified, the situation had changed, and unless something drastic happened, the ceremony would conclude in the capital as planned. Chloe swallowed at the thought. If it does, you'll be recorded in the Empire's history as the one who unified the continent. She saw the truth in it. The man beside her might rise too high for her to reach someday. Still, she found herself admitting, My lord, I think you really are amazing. He deflected quietly. There's nothing amazing about me. I didn't survive for honor or power. I survived day by day. That was before I met you. They fell into a brief, comfortable silence. Then he leaned in and pecked her cheek. Did I surprise you? He asked with a small smirk. She stammered that it did, cheeks flushed. He touched her lips and said, I really want to kiss you, and then kissed her. Chloe pushed him gently, worried someone might see. I don't care if someone sees, he said. I am sincere. Trust me, Chloe. Marry me. He held her hands. Let's live together in Graham's estate. I don't want anyone else beside me. Chloe's heart wavered between reason and feeling. My head says no, but when he touches me, I can't deny it. He makes me feel safe. I trust him. When he murmured, spend the night with me, her face burned and she hesitated. After a long pause, she stepped back. I think I'll go back to my place. I'm tired. He searched her face and sighed, accepting it. She hurried toward camp, cheeks hot and heart pounding. Every time he looks at me like that, something stirs inside. I should stop, but I like him. I like him a lot, she thought, touching her lips as she tried to steady herself. Thank you for watching this episode of our Manhwa recap. We hope you enjoyed diving into the world of this story with us. If you loved the content, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support means the world to us and helps us bring you even more amazing manhwa recaps. See you in the next episode.